Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Adam and you're on the Collector Collective. Thanks so much for joining me here again today. So today we're taking another look at what's come out this last year in Barbie for our year in review videos. So we have done the Barbie extra videos for a couple of the latest iterations of that. But from the Barbie collector range, we've got these two Barbie Rewind dolls. Now there's three in the set, but we have only picked two to review here, which I kind of regret. I think I'm going to go out and get the third one. I don't know if I'll put that in a video, but now that I've had these two and had a bit of a look over how they look outside their pack or inside their packaging, I think I'm going to need to get the third one. As I've stated in previous videos, I'm not really a Barbie collector. I do have a few. Now I've got more and I want more. I don't know what's going on with me here. I think it just takes me back to when I was a kid. Really, bonding with my sisters and playing make-believe, things like that. And we all played with all our toys together, whether it be the action figures that I liked and or the Barbies and Kens that my sisters liked. But these really do take me back, and I'm really happy to have these added to my collection, and I actually can't wait to open them. Now, we've got two here. So first off, we've got the Barbie Rewind, and this is the Career Girl edition. As you can see, it says on the back here, the Barbie Rewind series launches with the 80s edition, a totally tubular throwback collection which commemorates our fave pop culture looks from the decade. So obviously the 80s decade, we've got a very 80s style Barbie. So Barbie in her career girl look is an homage to peplums, shoulder pads, chunky accessories, and big hair don't care. Handle business on the go with this bodacious brick cell phone and the jet business accessories. So that's really a lot of fun to just read and say in that funny voice. Now then we've got Barbie in her dance party look. She comes with like an electric, over the shoulder keyboard. But, it says, the same about the favourite pop culture looks as it does on the back of this one. But with her, as you can see, she is a bit different. It says on this one, the dance party look wouldn't be legit without her radical ruffles, bodacious bold colours, and fly fishnet ankle socks. Set up your boombox for an impromptu dolls night out. So I think we'll start with the career girl look. I think this is really a harken back to a favourite Barbie that's been done in a couple of iterations, been re-released for 20th anniversary, things like that, which was of course Day to Night Barbie. Day to Night Barbie famously originally came with a cool business look and then a sparkly undershirt and outfit that you could change her into. Ken was the same. She came with her business accessories, which included a briefcase, and then the later iterations included her with a cell phone, which wasn't originally part of the one from, I think, like 84 or something. So cell phones weren't big. And I mean, even your average career girl back in the day wouldn't have had a brick cell phone per se. I mean, they still weren't that popular until really the early to mid 90s, when they were more commonplace for people to be handling. But whatever, it's just a showcase of different things, but also encompasses some of that from one of the most popular and favourite Barbies of the decade, which was the Day to Night Barbie. She also came with a really cool poodle that my sister had, which had like a twisting body, and obviously that was, I don't know if she worked in an office where she could have a dog, who knows. I think it's a bit more commonplace nowadays. I think every place should have a workplace puppy, but mine doesn't. So we'll see what happens. And then, of course, this would be a bit of a throwback to the Barbie and the Rockers, which had two main iterations, and there's been several different musically themed and band themed Barbies after that. But of course, Barbie and the Rockers came out because they found out that gem and holograms are being made by a rival toy company at the time. So we'll just move her over to the side just a little bit. So the box itself, that's the front cover. On the back, it showcases the doll that's within. It also has a little thing about the other two dolls that are in this series. And again, I've only got two of them here, but I'll be getting the third, I'm sure. On the side, Barbie Rewind. As you can see, that has been put on there like a video cassette label, and then when you take it out, it is totally a video cassette for VHS. And it just says Barbie Rewind 80s in triangle. But then let's have a look. Now she has got the classic, I think that is Angel Face actually. So I'm pretty sure that that's Angel Face Barbie. Oh, well, the Angel Face molding, or a more modern iteration thereof. And you can see she's got all her accessories in there. She's got some, you know, little, what are they? Well, not spreadsheets. You know, she's got a pie chart and a graph chart on there. They do seem fairly easy to open. I haven't actually tampered with the packaging yet. They aren't taped in, which is good. Now, again, let's just have a little bit of a further talk about the packaging. Now, this packaging is obviously designed for, you know, display. So, I mean, this is going to be a great collector's item, which I'd recommend for every Barbie collector or anyone who might just feel nostalgic and not necessarily collect them but be interested in. If you had a sister or something, like I'm considering getting these for my sisters for Christmas because of the amount of times we spent playing with the 80s and 90s era Barbies. And so I'm going to open this one from the bottom. As I said, there's no tape, it just maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do with the packaging afterwards anyway. I usually will recycle and get rid of it. Ooh, alright. So, again, no tape, easily slid out. I'm not fussing over that any longer. And now on the back we have what we get with Barbie. This certificate that your Barbie Rewind doll was created through the collaborative efforts of designers and artists at Mattel. Signature black label. Okay, that's news to me. I didn't realize that it was actually a black label, but these aren't a limited run. I don't believe that there's a limit to how many that they've made. So again, there's a lot to unpack. So I'm going to get through that as quickly as possible, probably edit out most of the unpacking process, but as you can see, it shows up really well. Bright yellow Barbie design. This thing I think is really cool. The cassette tape for music, which is going to be the base of her doll stand. So I'm going to get her all out. Okay, so here is the classic career girl look. Now she does have a lot of classic Barbie features. As I said about the face, the hair is quite a bit tacky. I mean, it's obviously got a bit of gel or glue or whatever they use to keep that in place. But what I didn't realize when she was in her packaging was this is actually a little hat with a bow on it. I thought it was just a bow. So that's a cute little mechanic. As you can see, I've got her holding her phone. We'll take a closer look on the smaller camera in just a minute. Not as hard to get out of the packaging as the Barbie extra dolls. So Barbie, more of this type packaging, but you know, the details in her are great. But we'll do a side-by-side on the smaller just so we can have a proper look at that. But that's essentially what, well, that is exactly what you get. So this stand works perfectly, and the 80s Rewind cassette tape is just fantastic. So I'll move her over here. Here's some of her paperwork and accessories, which we'll have a closer look at, as I said. So, but with this one, who's, what was it? She was totally tubular, chunky accessories. And her bodacious black brick style cell phone. And this was colours fly fishnet. I'm sure I read the word bodacious there, but I'm just kind of skim reading. So just to quickly run you through it, the back is very much the same. It's got the graphic of that Barbie plus the other two that you get. Stained cassette tape, rear of the packaging, and then she looks great. Now you wouldn't have gotten this face mold actually in the 80s. She's kind of doing a bit of a duck face there, but we'll forgive her for that. I wonder if any of these accessories are the same mint from the 80s. Like we've got the actual classic 80s brush with that little wave on the back that you used to get with Barbies back in the day. I believe that the hairbrush has changed. She's got a little mic and boombox and stuff. So there was a rapping, rocking Barbie, I believe, in the 80s. It came with the boombox that actually played some music. So I think that would be a harken back to that, as well as a talking point for Barbie and the Rockers. Now my sisters had the two different iterations of the original two Barbie and the Rockers there, and I can see a couple of similarities. So let's get her out again. Slide this one out from the bottom. I don't know what I'm going to do with this packaging. I'm kind of tempted to keep it. Maybe I'll just sell the outer boxes online or something for someone that may get them and they're damaged. Mine are pretty perfect. And that's her in there. And straight off the bat, we get the exact same printout for the Barbie black label. And I'm just going to work hard to get her untangled. It looks as though there's a little bit less work on the back of this one compared to Career Girl. So just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have the Dance Party Barbie. She's turned out excellently as well. She's got quite fun crimped hair and this little, twirl around. The outfit's fantastic. They do have movable limbs, and that's what she looks like. Again, same basic stand, works excellently. But let's have a quick closer look at these two. Alright, I'll be right back with that. Okay, and here we are. So we've got them out of their boxes and lined up quite nicely with their little accessories. So just to go back with the first one I opened. Now we've got the Career Girl. She has got a beautiful classic 80s, 90s face sculpt. If you have a look at her eyes, the catch lights have little pink flecks in them, which was very common of Barbie at the time. The makeup's maybe a little bit more subtle, but her cheeks are nicely rouged. I don't know how well it shows up in this light. And her outfit's pretty fantastic. So I'm going to take her off the stand just so we can have a good look. I mean, this little phone's really cute. It doesn't have any actual numbers on it, but it's got everything you would have seen in, one of the old classic original brick phones, although they appear to have given it a bit of a screen where the earpiece would have been, the screen would have been where it says Barbie. They could have just put like it, but that's just semantics. Who really cares? Aerial and everything. Her other accessories, little calculator. Again, no numbers on it, but it does have 54,000 or maybe 54.00 on it. The classic 80s Barbie hairbrush, probably made from the original mold and everything. A little column graph indicating, Barbie's awesomeness. and I think how cool she thinks pink is. A pie graph. It would be fun if they went to the effort of putting in detail of what they're actually measuring in this graph. Her briefcase, which you can open up really easily. Now, it's got the same herringbone, pink and black pattern, big Barbie on the side. And then all these little things fit nicely in there for your 80s career girl on the go. Really cute. I really like that. But just to talk about the things that I believe are a bit of a harken back. I mean, this old school ring design, although it's just a plain silver. I mean, usually this would have been made out of a clear or iridescent plastic and gone through her hand. The hands are nothing like what they were doing in the 80s. All her 4 fingers were connected, and then her thumbs kind of set out just differently, and then the more elite Barbies just had the permanently bent arms. But again, I'm not going to get mad at an articulatable toy. I do love them. Just a closer look at that little, like the hair. I mean, you know, any proper doll collector can obviously go on and fix that up, make it a bit less rough, I suppose. I mean, it's easy enough. You just kind of boil the hair, reshape it, and re-glue it, make it a bit softer. The big puffy shoulder pads, although there's no pads in there, it's just big puffy sleeves essentially, really. The earrings are the same as her ring. Again, I would have expected them to maybe have gone back with the iridescent plastic from the 80s, although the face is just classic. This accessory is new. The herringbone skirt style, which I love. Oh, well, it's actually, I just realized that. So these snap buttons, again, classic 80s Barbie. The sparkly top, that's what you got under the original Day to Night Barbie's outfit. But her outfit being one piece, I think that's really clever. Obviously, that saves in manufacturing costs. I mean, this isn't the sort of doll that most people will be undressing and redressing in different outfits. She's not really designed to do that. The stockings are quite shiny. This is my favorite thing though. Back to the, how satisfying is that? Clicking Barbie's legs. Oh, the little pumps fell off. Of course, that was usually the first things most people lost when it came to their Barbies, but I think these are a classic pump design. I think the Barbie's feet were a little bit bigger. If I have any problem with this, these tights aren't binding enough. They should probably be a bit stronger onto her. Tighter onto her legs. They are coming off a little bit, you know, baggy, and you know, Nana's not going out to buy more stockings. These ones still do the job, but again, how good is that? You don't get that any longer in any Barbie. You know, they're either fully articulatable or their legs just don't move. And that was a staple for all Barbies back in the day. So that's a good close look at our career girl, and just a bit of a closer look at my hand is causing a shadow on that. There are some classic 80s patterns that we would have seen on this cassette tape. It is hollowed out at the bottom. I believe the original Barbie and the Rockers doll did come. These shoes do fall off a lot. I don't remember that being what it was like in the 80s with these Barbies. Another slight problem is this dress is obviously all polyester or whatever. It's got no give. You know, she should be hopping along slowly. Let's give her phone back. The Barbie extra dolls now come with iPhones. Oh well, a couple of them do that I've seen anyway. I've only opened 2 of those. Now there's maybe no real way for her to hold this properly. I'm not going to bother to mess about with that. So now here is Dance Party. Now, this I love. As I mentioned before, there was Rappin' Rockin' Barbie who came with a actual boombox. I think the whole range of them, her and her friends and her Ken, all came with a boombox. You pressed a button and it played a little tune. It shows all the connections. It's even got the battery connection there. The same design as we see on their stands for the cassette player. Really cute, really pretty. Same comb, except a different color, classic Barbie pink. And then this I'm actually kind of surprised with. I kind of think that they maybe let us down, making it translucent as opposed to a solid color. Like, I mean, you know, this kind of a machine wouldn't have been hollow for one thing, but it is a toy, and I suppose they're not really being taken out. But they're not designed to be taken out of their packaging. But yeah, the fact that it's clear just kind of takes away from any sort of realness. So let's have a closer look at the doll of her stand. Just her stand again. It's a different color. Exact same molding though, so nothing different there. Her shoes are the same, which I think is kind of funny. I mean, Barbie quite often would come with different shoes or boots depending, but they were white boots on the original Barbie and the Rockers, and the same satisfying. Oh, she's a bit leg click. Now with the big earrings, big plastic bangles, and little stocking cuffs, they're all very much Barbie and the Rockers. And this star design, the second Barbie and the Rocker, all their outfits had stars all over them. The first ones I don't believe did at all. And then that face isn't one that we would have seen in the 80s at all. Her hair is great. It's really crimped, but it is a bit dry. It's not tacky with gel or anything, but that crimping is kind of probably going to drop out. You'll probably have to, I would probably boil it, and then from there maybe braid it to get that crimping back in. That little skirt doesn't have a separate belt, but that's fine. Like, who's going to worry about that? The jacket's great, a little pleather. And then her makeup, I actually think her makeup might be the same as Barbie and the Rockers' makeup, or at least same color scheme. She's holding that mic, and it's actually right on her hand. Exact same ring, which I think is maybe a bit cheap and lazy of Mattel. And then let's see how she looks. So she's going to have a hard time holding that mic and also hitting the keys on this. Maybe a mic stand might have gone too far astray, but that's how she looks holding it. Kind of push that hand in a bit more. So we've got a lot more of what she's meant to be like. I mean, that's how I'll have her posed, I suppose. I don't know that I'll disconnect her mic. You know, how's everyone doing tonight? Woo! Yeah, we're here to party, totally bodacious, yes. But that's, I think, about it. So let's just throw those back there. Alright. Now, again, I, can't rate modern Barbies highly enough, most especially the articulatable ones, and most especially these ones that are harkening back to a time where I was most familiar with Barbie, and again, reminds me of what I used to do with my family, well, with my sisters, and the type of play we used to learn to project our imaginations and our would-be lives on. So it's been an absolute pleasure opening these. I'd highly recommend them. Again, if you are thinking of getting something cool for an adult and you're a collector and they may have been a fan of Barbie back in the day, this would certainly be a way to go. But if you wanted to teach your kids a little bit more about what a classic Barbie used to look like, this would be a great way to go as well. I mean, they're not going to be around forever. Like I certainly recommend, if you're thinking about it, just do it, get them. I'm going to get the third one. Might even do a video about that. But that's about it. They're got their minuses only so slightly, but they're mostly got pluses. And, you know, that's all I have to say about that, I think. So that's everything I've got time for here today. So thanks so much again for joining me. I'm going to wrap this up. So till next time. If you've liked what you've seen from me, remember to hit like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate the subscribers so you can keep up to date on the many different things that I'll be opening over these coming weeks, months, and maybe years. Let's see how this thing goes for me. So till next time, keep collecting. Thanks for joining me. Bye.